Welcome to the Nerds Who Swing podcast. My name is Miller.
Margot.
You can find us everywhere where you would find a normal podcast.
Search Nerds Who Swing on Facebook.
You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Pinterest. You can find us on SoundCloud. You can find us on YouTube.
We are so many places.
Or even on iTunes. That's probably where you found this one. And then the most important one is you can find us on Patreon.com, where if you want to just give us $1 or $2 to help just pay for hosting our website and our podcast.
Oh, that would be so nice of people.
I know,
Can you
right?
imagine if they did that?
There might even be bonuses eventually.
Bonuses?
Yeah.
Sexy bonuses?
No, lame bonuses.
Oh,
you
good.
could do our taxes.
Lame bonuses. Bonuses including.
That's right. And then you can also, we have a contest with every episode where if you want to be in our logo.
Yeah. Did you see our logo? Can you see it? Pull it up. Do you see our super sexy logo?
That's right.
Is it me right now?
It is right now.
It's me right now. That's me, folks. But maybe that could be you.
That's right.
Which would be super hot.
Send us your picture.
Send us a picture.
Any one of these.
No faces?
No faces.
No faces. Not that your face isn't sexy, but, other sexy business.
Also, no penises unless there's also a vagina there.
Because who wants a penis?
Yeah. Just saying. Yeah, that's 50% of the vote. I'm not voting for that. Yeah.
Anyway, send us in your pictures if you want to.
You could be the background of the Nerds Who Swing logo.
Can you imagine your body, your sexy, sexy bod as the background of our logo?
Damn, Margot.
So hot.
Yeah. Anyway.
I like it. Okay, we're Nerds Who Swing.
That's right. Margot, Miller, enjoy the episode. Margot.
That's my general greeting.
That's your,
That's my, I've been drinking
That's your
coffee
catch line?
with Bailey this today instead of regular
Fair enough.
black coffee of sadness.
Aww.
Normally it's hi, but when there's Bailey's in it, it's
Hey-o.
it's 11 a.m. Yeah.
So let's talk about going on dates, but more specifically, let's talk about first dates that we've been on with people.
First dates with other couples.
Right.
Okay.
So let's talk about our first date.
Okay. So you've met a couple
right.
on an app or at a party or
right.
something. I mean,
let's
we hadn't met them in person.
Yeah, let's assume for this conversation you haven't met them yet in person.
So it's I guess
you
blind
might have
dated, but not
you've
like
seen
you've been
pictures
set
of
up,
them.
You've chatted.
You're hoping they're from the
or
last decade. The
something.
pictures.
Hopefully they're accurate. Yeah.
Let's assume that.
Okay. So I guess is personal preference. If you are meeting to hook up, then obviously you would pick a place where you can do that.
Right.
But if it's first date, we're meeting you, we're kind of seeing if we're into each other that way, which I would say is kind of the norm. If you are not looking for that, you're looking to meet and play for sure in the first night, that's definitely available to you. I would just be really straightforward with that.
Yeah,
that is what your expectation is, or that is what your hope is. If you're contacting someone, it means you want to play with them. And that's, I would say, a bit more aggressive than most of the couples that we've met or people we've met. But
a lot of people have said,
if you put it out there, if that's on Front Street, people know that's what you want, that's fine. They just may or may not be into it as well.
Yeah, and if you're not into it, if you're not comfortable, or you want to make sure that the other couple knows that it's extremely unlikely to happen, just make sure you go to that first, before you get to the date. Before you, or maybe even as you're propositioning the idea of going on a date, just say, we don't play on the first date.
Right. Which is very common.
Yes, exactly. Don't feel self-conscious or anything,
it
or
doesn't mean
we're not part of the community because we're not playing on the first date. No, that's 100% normal that you feel that way. It doesn't mean everybody is.
Yeah.
But some people do need.
They need a date that,
and
or whatever.
And maybe they feel more confident or more comfortable with a date just putting that out there.
That's
it relieves a little bit of the pressure.
Well, yeah. So I would even say that if okay, if somebody you have a date planned and they're like, we don't plan the first date, don't feel like that's insulting to you, like they have one foot out the door or something.
No.
Like they're like, we're probably not attractive, but I guess we can get a drink
We'll
with them.
humor these people and like take them for drinks or
that's
whatever.
I would say that the swinger dating community or situation is it's way less gameplay than the single people dating situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if people want to meet you for a drink, they're at least sort of interested.
Yeah.
They just are. That's just how it works. Especially because you're talking about a couple of couples, schedules all panning out and kids getting taken care of, and babysitters and work and all that crap all figured out just so you can go for drinks. You're not there to play games. You're there because you're at least remotely interested.
Right, exactly.
So
you've gotten this far in the process that, they're willing to meet you for drinks, that they must be interested,
Yeah. So our first date, we were going on a date with somebody. We had never been on a date before.
No.
Like that. So we had met people. We had done
we had gone
things.
to a hotel party already.
We'd done a hotel party. We had done clubs, that kind of thing. But we hadn't actually done the
dating thing.
Let's meet each other at a normal place where friends would go or couples would go and have a date. And they were pretty adamant we don't play on the first date.
Yeah, they said a couple times.
Which is... I was fine with that because
me too.
We were joking that we were sitting there at the restaurant waiting for them to come, like the lounge or whatever, to get a drink. And you were nervous, and I was fine.
I was really nervous.
I know you were.
Even
it
like
was so cute and funny.
Like I think we only knew like a week before or something like that.
Maybe even a couple
that
days.
It was going to work out timing wise.
Yeah.
But I remember being like nervous, like really nervous, like. And I don't have a specific about what I was nervous about but it was equivalent of a job interview. It felt like, and I mean, even now though, like I'm good at job interviews. Like I'm really good. I could probably get laid at like 50% of the job interviews that I go to, but like for this particular event, I was nervous as shit.
So nervous, like you were quiet and weird, like before they got there, and we were just sitting there, and I was great. And I think, upon reflection, I think it was because sex felt like it was off the table. There was no playing. And I don't know if that's just, I'm not going to say that that's a man-woman thing, because I think everybody is different, but I don't know if, I do wonder if it was reversed, if you would have been less nervous because like if they were like, we want to play tonight, but let's go for a drink first. If it was framed that way, I think I know I would have been more nervous because I would have been thinking about like the sex stuff and like we haven't met these people, and what if we don't want to, even though they've already clearly said that they want to, and where will we go, and what will it be like, and will he like what I have going on, or will she, or do I play with her or just him? All those things would have been like running around my head like crazy, having never even had a full conversation with them, right? But because that was like off the table, I was like going for a drink with my man. These guys are going to show up. We'll have a couple drinks with them. If things are cool, yay. And if they're kind of meh, then, oh well, no big deal. We still got a babysitter. We're still going to have a fun night out, and it'll be great. So I do wonder if it was the other way around, if you would have been like less nervous because I don't know.
I mean, I do have a bit of like social anxiety about meeting new people in general.
For sure.
So this just felt like meeting new people to the extreme.
Sure.
Where it's like...
And you were promised to not have sex at the end.
Yeah. I don't know,
But like if sex was promised at the end, maybe you would have been less... I'll have sex. But yeah. But man, I'm just your wife.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like, her again.
Been there.
Yeah. So I wonder if there was sort of a reward at the end. I'm not saying this is true, but I wonder if the male brain could sort of jump over the social anxiety portion because it knows it gets to the sex part. And then my brain was more like, oh, so we just have to talk and drink with them?
But I don't have a problem when we've met other friends for like game nights or like just out for drinks.
That's true, and we don't have sex with them after.
No, that's true.
So that's with vanilla friends.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't
know either. I think it's just because it was the first time we were doing that.
I guess. So we're having drinks.
Yeah.
Miller is fucking freaking out.
Yeah.
I am fine.
Yes.
Cool as a cucumber, ready for them to come in.
Yeah.
No idea why, but I didn't want to examine it too
Yeah.
thoroughly because maybe all of a sudden I'd get nervous too.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
They came in.
and we chatted,
Yeah.
hugs.
Yeah, I think swingers are big huggers.
Oh, so much hugging, yeah.
I feel like I've hugged more people
in the last
year than anybody ever time in my life.
Yeah, probably.
Because they come in, they're like, hey, and they give you a hug, and it's like, I don't know you at all, but I'm willing to hug you.
Yeah. And then it's
like a brotherhood or
just like
sisterhood or whatever, where it's
almost. Yeah.
Secret handshake.
Well, and I think what I didn't realize is just by meeting these people and stuff, maybe we wouldn't mesh, maybe we wouldn't play together, maybe we wouldn't become friends, like friends who hang out, friends who text each other, friends who, call each other when something good or bad happens, that kind of thing. Maybe we wouldn't be, but we were already within the same community. We already had very similar beliefs.
Right.
We were already both in established relationships, marriages. So you already have so much common ground.
Yeah, that's true.
That at the very worst, I feel like the worst thing that could happen would be like, okay, so we're not going to play with them, but we might run into them at some events and maybe we'll have a drink. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen to you.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty safe space to be. It is. And you already have all of this stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, how long have you been in the lifestyle? What
right.
kind of things do you like about it? And let alone all the normie stuff of, like,
topic.
What's your job and stuff, like, or what, do you have kids?
Like, I don't even think we got to what I did for a living, which is 100% okay. I don't remember, but, like...
But anyway.
We did cover what some people do.
We did, yeah.
But, like, you have this huge topic of, like, the lifestyle to talk about.
Yeah.
And you get to talk about your experiences and their experiences and everything.
What you like, what you look for, all that kind of stuff. Like, it was... I mean, it was fun, but it was also, like, informative, too. It
was, because I feel like we learned a lot about... You learned a lot about the other couple just by talking about their lifestyle experiences and how they've reacted to things.
Absolutely. And then you get to go home and sort of talk about it and relate it to your life.
Yeah.
And like, oh, well, when they said this or when we said that, and different stories that they might have. And then you get to talk about it. Like, would we want to do that? Or would we like this? It's fun.
Yeah, totally.
So
it helps that they were a super awesome, cool couple.
Fantastic
that
couple.
We like totally clicked with.
Yes, that was
so maybe
really
we're
awesome.
Spoiled for our first date. But
maybe, but I really think if we wouldn't have vibed with them, we would have finished our drink. We would have been like, like, have a nice night. We'll probably see you around at stuff or whatever. But
because
I think that would have been okay.
Especially if you say, let's meet for drinks.
Yeah,
you've only promised drinks.
Exactly.
They don't know if you have anything else after scheduled.
Yes.
So you can take off if it's not working.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you could move on to you can move on to food if things are clicking.
Yeah.
Almost like as a second date within your first date.
Exactly.
So you get to extend the date if you're at a location that has food or whatever.
Yeah. Let's go for food, or let's go to, maybe you go to a club after.
Yeah.
Whether it be like a dance type club or a lifestyle type club or like, I mean, obviously go back to one of your houses or go back to, if that's on the table or if that's a thing that people are interested in doing. But yeah, it's kind of, it's funny because we got together very young, you and me, so we didn't really do the dating thing.
Maybe that's why I was nervous, because it was my first date.
Maybe. Aw, that's so cute. Maybe. So, but it felt a lot like dating to me, in that sense that, like, you meet somebody that you think you might be interested, you have a drink, things are going good.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it turns into supper. And then if things are still going good, maybe you catch a movie, or you go to a club, or you go back to each other's house or something like that.
Yeah.
It was very much like that. So if you're comfortable in that environment, or as comfortable as somebody can sort of be, you're doing that, but you get to do it with your spouse.
Right.
So you're not going to go home alone, for sure. You're guaranteed to have at least an okay time, because you're already there with somebody you love. And the bonus is meeting new people.
Yeah, exactly.
Friends or playmates or whatever they might be. So I think it's like single dating, but with way, 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 way less of the pressure.
No, and you get to have like your wingman there with you.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is now a team event, and like
totally.
We get to like go and tag team this thing and like see if it works or not, which lets you kind of have things in place so that you both feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So you can kind of have like signals or keywords that you can share with each other.
Yes.
To kind of signal, this is going good, or let's get the fuck out of here.
Right. Well, even like, do you guys want to grab dinner?
Yeah.
Okay, clearly people are like liking each other enough to keep this night going.
Right.
So that's sort of your out. Like, oh, we actually kind of got to go. Okay, so you weren't interested. No big deal.
Yeah.
Or absolutely, let's get some food. Then it's like, okay, we're all interested in keeping this night going a little longer.
Right.
Yeah.
I would make sure you definitely follow your partner's lead in that. Like, if we're out and you answer the question of, do you want to stay or go like get some food or something?
Yeah. And I'm like, we should get going.
Yeah,
you can't be like, I want a steak.
We got nothing else to do tonight, honey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You have to be like connected and aware of what your partner's saying.
Yeah.
So if they say we should take off,
I think we should check
yeah,
on the
you're
kids.
right. We should go.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to be like, paying attention to what's happening.
Right. I would also say if your date spans more of the evening and you go to like another location.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was intentional on their part, they were more of a veteran swinger couple, let's say, and we were more of a newbie couple. But I think that that's genius because it gives you the whole ride in separate cars to be like, so what do you think? Like,
if you're changing from like the bar
going
to
a different
place.
venue, right? You're like, let's drive to that place down the street, whatever.
Yeah.
Perfect time because then you have like uninterrupted.
Were you into them?
Exactly.
Or not?
If
it gives
they
you like
invite us back,
little intermission
should
to like
we go, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't really fully do that in this case because they had been rather clear that they don't plan on the first date.
Yeah,
I remember we were like, we're into them, like we would totally. But because that was sort of off the table, we
didn't even really talk about it too much at that point because we were just like,
when it came up later that they were like, actually, we're kind of want to break our don't play on the first date rule.
Right.
I think we were a little like, taken aback, I guess, surprised, whatever. And so I was like, I'm not wearing like sexy lingerie under this. Or I was like, I'm not prepared. And I think because we were newer too, and I do really like them, that I think then I got nervous.
Right.
Not because I didn't want to be with them, because I did, but I didn't feel physically prepared. So I would say the biggest, maybe only regret I have in this swinger lifestyle so far is not going home with them that night. Definitely.
Yeah.
I would, the next time we see them, I'm going to tell them that because I do wish that we had, because I think we get along so good and we vibe really well together, and we're clearly, all four of us are into each other. Like it's awesome, and they're fantastic. Yeah. And we tend to have very opposing difficult schedules. So it's like, it was like there was that one night, or it's like, we'll see you in 2020.
Yeah.
So I was like, we had them. We had this prime time and we didn't take advantage. Yeah. And I think that was just sort of a newbie mistake of like, okay, well, they said they're not going to play on the first date, so we're not really going to get whether that's physically ready in terms of whatever you like to do,
or just
like
mentally
lingerie,
ready,
or maybe I don't know, maybe you weren't maybe you hadn't gone for your wax that week. I don't know, whatever your
personal grooming
need.
wasn't up to for you to feel confident enough to make things happen,
right? Or your sitter is like, okay, well, we got to be home at 11 and now it's 10, so I guess we could go home with them, but like it's kind of quick and maybe that's awkward. Whatever the thing is, it is a little bit different when you feel like playing is on the table versus it not being. So I would go into every situation thinking that the whole continuum of options is available to you.
I agree.
And maybe just be ready,
even if they
whatever.
said that they don't play on the first date.
Yeah.
Just, you never know how the night's going to go.
Yeah. That's not
so just
saying,
be open to whatever might happen.
Yeah.
But if you guys have rules and you don't play on the first date, that's totally fine. Yeah, don't try to break the rules.
No, of course
not. But if they decide to change their rules, then you're ready to roll with whatever it is.
And
we didn't
feel ready to roll with it.
Time. Yeah.
And that's a regret that I have, because I think that would have.
That's a regret that I have that you weren't ready.
You weren't either, you jerk. You were like, I don't know, maybe we should. Anyways.
Okay, so that's a date that went well, really well.
Went great in the sense that we totally click with them, and we're still we're friends right now. We're seeing them tomorrow, so that's awesome.
Yeah. So let's talk about a different date that we went on.
Okay.
That I don't. It's not the opposite. It's not a bad date. It's just a different date.
Right. So this couple is lovely.
Yeah,
Very
super.
nice. We've seen them at a couple of things.
We probably chatted with them more on the app before the event than we had with our people from the first date.
Yeah, probably. And they're very, very nice.
Very nice.
And they're not physically unattractive. Not at all.
Not at all. They're both
very
fit
attractive.
and
I could see a time in the future where maybe we just get to spend more time together or something. But there was just something about our interaction that didn't seem to click.
Right.
And it's not them, and it's not us, and it's not there's nothing wrong with anybody. But we had chatted on the app.
Yeah.
And then we met.
We met them at a bar.
For drinks.
Yeah, so we didn't meet them.
Kind of similar to.
It was close. One. It was a little more bar-ish, less little restaurant-y.
Yes.
But it wasn't like a club or anything.
Right. And conversation was nice.
Yeah, it was actually fine.
It was good.
It was a little loud, the music. So it was a little hard for me. I have this thing where I feel like my talking and my listening seems to always be at the exact frequency that the music is at in a bar or any event, really, where I can't hear anything once the music is playing, and I can't talk without yelling, or nobody can hear me. I don't understand how it works.
Gotcha.
I'm sure there's science behind it, but
there is something wrong with your
ears.
With
my brain.
Maybe. I said ears. That was nicer.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with your stupid brain.
If somebody's not right next to me for some reason, I can't hear them over the music.
But that's okay, because then you have an excuse to
I know.
Snuggle up.
And I did talk with her for a little bit.
You're like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't quite hear. I'm just going to put my arm around your waist and pull you a little closer.
I'm just going to put my head next to your boobs. I can hear better down here.
Yeah, the acoustics in the boob region are really top notch.
Yeah. So she was very nice. And we talked and we got along and stuff, but it was almost because the music at the bar
maybe it was a poor choice of venue to meet them at.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I didn't chat with her a tremendous amount that night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, not really. I mostly chatted with him.
Mm-hmm.
He seems perfectly nice.
Right.
If I was single and we were out at a bar meeting, I wouldn't be interested in pursuing anything with him.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just weren't vibing that way. But he's perfectly nice. Nothing wrong with him at all. I would set him up with a friend of mine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more of that kind of a feel is what I got from him, where I wasn't like, holy crap, let's go somewhere so we can fool around.
Yeah.
But
that's okay,
I just didn't have that feel with him.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to say that without
it's not rude. It's not
insulting.
A negative thing towards him. It's
not at all.
Yeah.
So that date didn't progress to another location or another place or hey, let's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there was sort of some second date talk.
Right.
That didn't really go anywhere.
No, we haven't seen them since then.
I think there's been some chatting still on the app. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's some interest on their end or not for more than just a general friendship and maybe you run into each other at an event or something like that.
Yeah. And they're very nice, but
really
it's just
nice.
We just didn't. Maybe it was the venue, like you said.
Something just seemed awkward.
Or maybe we were having an off night, or they were having an off night.
Maybe.
But it was just a little bit different than our first date.
Yeah.
So
maybe we were even spoiled by our first date, where we're
possible.
So we're gonna think each other is fucking awesome, right?
Yeah.
Go.
You're gonna break your rule tonight for us, like everybody else.
And anything else beyond, beyond or less than that was a disappointment or something. I don't know, but
it's possible.
Yeah. So I think that, but in a way, I feel like that's the worst it could go, which I don't want to sound insulting to that couple because they're beyond lovely. They're very nice.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be like, our worst date ever was with, no, not
no,
at
but
all.
I think it just speaks to, we learned from it. We learned that location maybe isn't the best for meeting somebody right off the bat like that we've chatted with before like that.
But yeah. And then also as a way to calm the nerves of people about to go on a date.
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst you can expect. You chat with somebody, you meet them, you have a perfectly nice time, but it doesn't really go anywhere, and you're not sort of, like, sexually vibing on each other, and so it just kind of fizzles.
Yeah.
Like, that's the bad case scenario.
Yeah,
like,
that's not,
still
like...
pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
It was still a pleasant, fine evening.
Yeah.
It was all good. It just didn't end with everybody, like, ripping each other's clothes off, which would have been fun, but it was fine.
Yeah,
so... I don't know. That's kind of like, that's, it's not going to get really much worse. No one's going to be like, you're not going to have some big fight or something because no one's in it. The stakes aren't that high.
No, and if they're in the lifestyle and you're in the lifestyle, you probably have a lot in common, like more than you think.
For sure.
So you're probably thinking along the same lines as they are about lots of things.
Yeah.
But
I think it's just one of those things where I don't know if all four of us, we didn't have that sort of magical thing where,
that's true.
Where we could swap because you were into her and I was into him, and she and I could play because we were into each other. Like, we have had that with a few different couples, and that works great because then if I'm playing around and you're playing around, like, everyone's just happy and it's all good.
Right.
So that's awesome. But I don't know if we have that connection. Like, if you... are you interested enough in her to play with her?
Yeah.
So if we were at a situation where she was there and you wanted to play with her,
right,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I just don't foresee a time where the four of us are messing around.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like, I don't think, maybe it's more me that doesn't have a connection with, like a sexual connection with either of them.
Well, I'm not asking you to take one for the team, honey, so that like...
I know.
No, because it's about all four of us feeling comfortable and stuff.
So I don't think that we have that.
And I have no idea what they're thinking. Maybe they're like, oh, Margot and Miller were such dicks.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they were.
Like,
I hope not.
It was hard to talk with them. He couldn't hear anything
he couldn't hear
said.
Anything. Yeah.
Gosh, he's like an old man.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to vibe with people. Maybe not always.
Yeah.
Check your... I would be ready for anything, and I would check on your sort of like venue choice. Because a random bar seems like a good idea, but it's not great. And I would also say, like, if you have the kind of, if you think you already have enough of a connection that you're probably going to want to play with them, then maybe more like a club, like lifestyle club, would be a good venue for your date if you feel like playing is really an option. Yeah. And then otherwise, like, I think the sort of lounge, restaurant, something.
Yeah, it gives you the option to
good.
Extend the date.
Yeah.
If you want, like, kind of by ordering food or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas at a bar, you don't necessarily have that option. You have to change venues, which can also work, I guess, as like a...
Yeah, maybe we should have tried, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there you go.
All right.
Dating. So, yeah, anything else about dates?
No, I don't think so. We haven't done tons of them. We've done a few.
No, not a ton.
But, yeah, I mean, send us your thoughts on dates that you've been on. Good ones, bad ones.
Tips.
We can share them.
Where to go or not to go. If you have any first date rules.
Yeah.
We've come across the sort of don't play on the first date kind of rule.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that we necessarily have that. I think it's just a situational thing.
I agree.
But I think actually that one couple we met, both couples actually, had that rule, and maybe even some to more of an extent than others, where it's like they don't hook up with someone on the first time that they meet them.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Cool.
Sounds good.
Okay. Go on some dates, folks.
That's right.
Date it up. Remember that it's no pressure.
It's supposed to be fun.
It's sort of no pressure dating, honestly.
It is, because you still have your significant other, so you're just looking for an enjoyable night out.
Yeah, you're already winning at the whole life thing.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
This is just like the bonus stuff.
Right.
So there's really no point in getting all freaked out about
That's right.
it.
And if you need something,
you don't sit there like Miller, all like, "Oh my gosh, we're on a date."
If you need something to talk about, tell them you listen to the Nerds Who Swing podcast.
Yes.
They've probably already listened to it. Because
we're that popular.
It's number one on iTunes across every category.
Oh yeah, it's better. We're beating all the big podcasters at this point. Yeah,
Smodcast.
Yeah, Mark Maron.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we're
bigger than all those.
Bigger than all of them. We're booked to speak on all of them.
We are.
Yeah.
We're actually on John Oliver next week.
Yeah, that's right. We're sitting down with him.
That's right.
It's very hard to fit him in our
It's
schedule, but
very
we will.
hard. Yeah, exactly. We'll squeeze him in.
Way to start it.
Check. Play.
Yeah,
it's picking up my cough.
You
we can
were
move
coughing
on.
at all before, and then you hit play.
Like, I'm good.
You're like Kevin Smith.
Record.
As soon as he's like,
Yeah.
welcome. Every time. And then he cough.
All right.
Okay.
So,